study with him. That nigga walked out and study fucking with my brother. You gonna see me for the rest of your life. You gonna see me for the rest of your life, bitch. You know we got it on us. We been quiet for too long, baby. We been quiet too long. You pussy ass nigga. You steady that pussy ass nigga. You gonna see me for the rest of your life, bitch. I'm that bitch hungry, bitch. Ass nigga, you should have told her who the fuck was.
Boy, they just beat the light skin off
You gonna see hate for the rest of your life. You should have told Holly who the we was. We've been too quiet here. This is a real trouble. You happy? You confused? You know exactly who the we are. You ruined that girl's life and you killed my sister.
Get it, lady. You with your bitch ass, boy.
It's okay, y'all gonna be out. Y'all gonna be out. Y'all gonna be out.
What truly happened during the confrontation remains unclear. Different parties have shared conflicting accounts. Some say Carlos initiated the incident, while others claim members of Romeca Meeks' family did. At this time, the exact sequence of events cannot be independently verified. What is known is that the video showing the commotion was recorded outside the courthouse, shortly after a court hearing for Quadaja Johnson, who is charged in connection with Romeca Meeks' death. Emotions were high as people exited the courthouse, and tensions appear to escalate. In the footage circulating online, Carlos can be seen being placed in handcuffs and escorted back into the courthouse by authorities. However, official details surrounding the incident, including what led up to it and whether any charges were filed, have not been publicly confirmed. Before we revisit how this tragic case began, we want to pause and share a moment from Romeca's family. In this clip, they speak directly to the community, thanking everyone who stood with them, supported them, and showed love during one of the most difficult times in their lives. Take a listen.
I just want to say thank you to the state's attorney, to Detective Tiros. You did a great job. I truly appreciate it. To the Attorney General. It's been 3 months of pain and agony. I just want to say thank you, Lord. Thank you. Justice, please. I just want justice. I don't want to fight with nobody. I don't want to argue with nobody. I just want justice for my daughter. And I want peace in my family. This has been such a hard 3 months. It's been painful. It's been we've been torn apart. One of the leaders of our family. She was the baby, but she was the leader. The holidays are not holidays. I'm just grateful to God. And I am happy on today's verdict. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. And all I want is to be done, is justice to be done. I want justice so I can have a peace and mind. It won't bring her back, but it will be a little peace now. It feels like a big bundle just been lifted off my head and my heart. And I truly appreciate everyone that stood by me, rallied with me, supported me and my family, because it meant a lot. And I thank the world, because the world helped me and God. I thank y'all so much. I thank news people. I think the Facebook, social media. You guys was there for us. You guys stood there with us. You didn't let us down, and you still are there. And I thank y'all so, so much. I couldn't have did it without y'all. I couldn't have made it this far without y'all. You and you. I love you, girls. Thank you. You hear me? And I thank y'all so much.
We're happy with the verdict.
And we're happy with the verdict. Justice for me. 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 Justice for me.
Won't keep you too much longer. I'm just wondering, how is your grandson doing? I know, it's obviously.
Carlos is doing great. He has always been doing great. He has a strong mother. He has a strong grandmother. He has strong aunties. He has strong uncles. He has a village. Carlos may be hurt for the rest of his life, but we make sure he see rainbows in his clouds. Okay? Nothing will ever change about that. There is nothing he needs that we cannot provide. He is perfectly well. He is happy. He is thriving. And even when he feels his lowest, we pull him out of it together like we do with each other. He a superstar like his mom, and he's going to show her better than he can tell her.
Yes. My name is your name? Frederica F.
My name is Dreka. D-R-E-K-A. And I'm the sister they don't like to put in front of the camera, so I'm going to leave now.
Of the support, yes. We had to be moved from 102 to courtroom 700 because of the support that's behind us. We overfilled the courtroom and the other people couldn't sit down to hear their cases. So it was transferred to 700.
Yes, all this love, all this support. We as one. We did it. This is all family. We did
We
it.
paid the city fee.
We paid the city fee. Yes. We paid the city fee for you. We don't pay the city fee for you.
My name is Tina McMiller. We have a TINAMCMILLER. We have a song that was made for Romeca. Can we do one little verse for y'all? Y'all ready?
Yes. Yes.
Come on, let's go. We gon' take the pity pink for you. Roll, we gon' take the city pink for you. Me.
We got it. Yo, we did it.
Love y'all.
Birthday to you. It's the best birthday gift ever.
Happy birthday to our sister.
Happy birthday.
Wait a minute, it's her birthday. It's her sister. It's her birthday, her big sister. It's her birthday today. And this is the best news that she needed. Because she's been down and it uplifts her today. So we're going to celebrate in honor for the good news in her birthday.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Excuse me. Can I sit back here, Jack? Can I sit back here?
Every time we come to court, we wearing this justice for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You are on True Crime Diaries, a place where we uncover shocking cases, unsolved mysteries, and real-life crimes. From headlines to hidden details, we break it all down so you know what really happened. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications to be first to know when a new case drops. These are real people, real tragedies, and lessons we can't ignore. Share this video, it could save a life. Let's dive in. Before we get to this point where Quadaja Holly Johnson is finally charged with first-degree murder in connection with Romeca Meeks' murder, let's quickly have a quick recap of how it all started. On the morning of September 8th, 2025, 31-year-old Romeca Meeks-Blackmon was in Chicago's South Loop, near the intersection of Cermak Road and South State Street, just after dropping her young son off at school. Around 9:06 a.m., she became involved in a confrontation with Quadaja Johnson, also known as Holly Johnson. According to prosecutors and police reports, the dispute between the two women escalated from a verbal argument into a physical altercation. The man who was with both women, identified in court documents as the baby's father, Carlos Smith Sr., reportedly tried to intervene. Prosecutors said he put Meeks-Blackmon in a chokehold during the struggle. Prosecutors alleged that the suspect, 31-year-old Quadaja Holly Johnson of Des Plaines, then walked back to her vehicle, retrieved a firearm, and fired multiple shots at Meeks-Blackmon, striking her and causing fatal injuries. After the shooting, Johnson was seen fist-bumping the baby's father, according to court filings. Meeks-Blackmon was rushed to Stroger Hospital of Cook County, but she could not be saved and was pronounced dead. In the weeks after the shooting, Johnson was arrested at her home in Des Plaines and charged with first-degree murder in connection with Meeks-Blackmon's death. At her first court appearance, the courtroom was filled with family and friends wearing pink in her memory. Meeks-Blackmon's mother described her daughter as a kind, loving, and sweet mother, and said the past months have been painful, terrible for the family. Earlier in the case, court records showed that Johnson had previously filed a stalking no-contact order against Meeks-Blackmon in 2024, granted in July of that year, but reportedly never served. Johnson also holds a FOID card and a concealed carry license. Though Johnson has claimed self-defense, prosecutors and the judge rejected that argument in court, noting that celebrating after the shooting was inconsistent with a self-defense claim. Police and local news reports noted that this tragic shooting occurred in broad daylight, transforming an ordinary school drop-off into a devastating loss and raising discussions about violence and safety in the community. During her first court appearance on charges of first-degree murder in Romeca Meeks-Blackmon's death, prosecutors noted that Quadaja Holly Johnson was pregnant, approximately 7 weeks along. Although her pregnancy was mentioned during the detention hearing, the judge denied her release and ordered that she remain in custody without bond as the case proceeds, citing the seriousness of the charges and public safety considerations. If you're new to this case, we encourage you to check out our earlier coverage on the channel for a clearer picture of how everything unfolded. Links to those videos are available in this video description. After the first court appearance in the case against Quadaja Holly Johnson charged in connection with Romeca Meeks-Blackmon's death, Carlos Smith Sr. spoke to local reporters and challenged aspects of the prosecutor's account. He said that what happened that day was unbelievable and that he knew, for a fact, none of that happened how they explained it, adding that his version of events will eventually be heard.
Came out in court today for the hearing of Quadaja Johnson, including the fact that this was the first time when the shooting unfolded that she allegedly laid eyes on Romeca Blackmon. We know that she and Romeca Blackmon, they both have children by the same man. And for the very first time, we are hearing from Carlos Smith. He was the man on the scene when this tragic shooting unfolded. So a lot of information came out in court today. Witnesses saying what they saw, but you were there. What's your reaction to what you heard came out in court today?
When I heard it, I'm just looking, you know, it was unbelievable, but I was there. And I know for a fact none of that happened, how they just explained it. But my truth will get out here, and I hope everybody understand. That's really it. I can't even say too much right now. You know, because it's just gonna feel like I'm going against them, they going against me, we just going back and forth. But the truth is going to come out.
Well, let's walk through this. So on September 8th, investigators say Johnson and the father of her child were near his home. They drove Johnson to 20 West Cermak, where her car was parked. They placed their 6-month-old into Johnson's car in the back seat. Around the same time, Blackmon had just dropped off her son at a nearby school and drove back to the area where Johnson and the father were. Witnesses told police the women argued. They reported the father pushing Johnson away and Blackmon standing with her arms crossed. They say he then slammed a car door on Blackmon and also put her in a chokehold. Prosecutors say Johnson broke free, and that is when, or I should say Blackmon broke free, and that is when Blackmon was shot once, and then that's when they say Johnson paused, then fired 2 more times. Police recovered 3 9mm casings there at that scene. Johnson legally owned the gun and claimed self-defense. Prosecutors say Blackmon was unarmed. Her son turned 7 days after the shooting and is still asking to this very day, where is his mother?
Carlos may be hurt for the rest of his life, but we make sure he see rainbows in his clouds.
Amen.
Okay? Nothing will ever change about that. There is nothing he needs that we cannot provide. He is perfectly well. He is happy. He is thriving. And even when he feels his lowest, we pull him out of it together like we do with each other. He a superstar like his mom, and he's going to show her better than he can tell her.
As for Smith, he says he has not seen his son since the shooting unfolded, the son that he has with Romeca Blackmon. We did learn today that Quadasia Johnson is 7 weeks pregnant. She did ask for leniency from the court, hoping that she would be able to attend her trial going back and forth from home. We do know the judge did not allow that. As for her, she will be back in a courtroom come December 23rd.
In the weeks after Romeca Meeks-Blackmon's death, her family focused on supporting her young son, Carlos Jr., during an incredibly difficult time. With his birthday approaching, what should have been a joyful milestone instead became a quiet moment of reflection and care. Relatives shared that their priority was making sure Carlos felt surrounded by love, stability, and support, even as they continued to seek justice for his mother. Community members later stepped in with acts of kindness, and Carlos himself took part in giving back, honoring his mother's memory through compassion and service. That he celebrated his birthday surrounded with love and compassion.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rose. Happy birthday. Y'all said that shit wrong. Y'all said that shit wrong. Y'all said that shit. Look, Carlos.
As this case continues to unfold, one truth remains clear. Romeca Meeks-Blackmon was more than a headline. She was a mother, a daughter, a friend, and the center of her child's world. Her family's hope is simple, yet powerful: closure, accountability, and justice for a life taken far too soon. For those who loved Romeca, justice is not just about courtrooms and verdicts. It is about protecting her memory, speaking the truth with care, and ensuring her son grows up knowing who his mother truly was: loving, devoted, and deeply missed. The road to justice can be long and painful, but her family continues to stand strong, supported by a community that refuses to forget her name. As they wait for answers, their message is one of hope. That truth will prevail, healing will come, and Romeca's story will end not in silence, but in justice. The court's next hearing in this case is currently slated for early January 2026, with reports indicating a tentative date around January 7th. Earlier, on December 23, 2025, a hearing was held where Johnson remained in custody and supporters of Romeca Meeks-Blackmon's family gathered to demand justice. Take a listen to the court hearing breakdown.
Hi everybody. So come on in. Of course, you know what happened outside of the courthouse. There is a video trending from TT Barfield, who was outside, who captured what unfolded outside of the courthouse. I kind of want to walk you through what I have surmised happened that led up to that point. We did have a producer who was there at the time, a field producer working for Fox 32 that kind of filled me in on everything that unfolded. This is a story that we will be covering on air today as well. So I do have some information based on that. So come on in. So let me first say that I cannot confirm officially what happened outside. All I can tell you is that who allegedly got arrested out of all of this. There's been varying accounts of what happened. Some people say, I don't want to get into the weeds of what we don't know to be concrete, because I think one of the things that I think can be misconstrued in this is, you know, everything we're saying about this case, we have to be responsible. As a journalist, I have to be absolutely responsible about everything that is said about this case, because I do know that it has a lot of heightened emotions. So it's really tough. Hold on a second. All right. So with that being said, I feel like we have to be super responsible. I know a lot of people were fired up from a previous live that I did talking about details of the case. I do want to remind people that when I spoke about those details of the case, and I had that paper in front of me, that information came from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. That was not for me. So the fist bump allegation, all of that came from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office by way of what they call a proffer. Okay, so they compose a proffer which outline, and they do it for every case, that outlines what they have investigated or figured out to be issues and things that have come out in their fact-finding period in that case. So that was not my words. I know that Carlos went on to do a live that said a fist bump never happened. I personally, that didn't come from me. That came from the proffer from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. So any lives that you've seen, all of that came from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, not from me. So you guys need to understand that. And I think that got people really riled up. Listen, one thing, and I'm going to get into what happened today. One thing that I'm not is I don't know any of these people, meaning I do not know the family of Romeca. I met them by way of journalism. Like they wanted to get their story out. They found me. We ended up doing an interview. I do not personally know them. Same thing with Carlos. His family had reached out to me. I believe it was his sister via email. And that is how I was linked up with Carlos. I asked his sister in that email for her phone number. So she was, you know, during the time before charges even came about, she was letting me know some of what the details on her side to her knowledge were. And that it was very clear to me that Carlos wouldn't be speaking to me at that time because legally they have been advised. When I say they, I'm talking about Carlos and also Quadeja Holly Johnson at that time were told not to speak to the media. But I was able to find some details out through her by way of her brother. So then fast forward, Quadeja Holly Johnson is taken into custody, and that is how Carlos even had my number, was by way of his sister, who had contacted me months prior via email. Quadeja Holly Johnson's cousin or aunt, I believe, I don't remember, and I don't want to misspeak here, but somebody that is related to her, who also knows the PR space, contacted me as well. At some point we exchanged phone numbers, and it was very clear to me that Quadeja Holly Johnson did not want to speak because her attorney had instructed her not to speak. It was never that she didn't have a platform by me to speak. This is not a situation where I'm taking sides here. I don't know anybody here. The only people that I feel any type of like absolute like pouring of my heart out for is obviously anybody in this situation who's lost. That's all sides, right? And especially the children in this. This is who I feel the worst for. So while people are online arguing, trying to call for my job and all this stuff, who you need to be pouring your love and heart out to are the children that are literally at a deficit because of this situation. But we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on all this other outside stuff. You got kids that are caught up in the middle of this. One in the womb who was not here, who was growing up in a womb that's probably stressed out in jail. One that is, I don't know where the little baby in all of this is. And I say baby because we know that child is not, I don't think the child was quite 1 year old yet, maybe like 9 months or so, almost 10 months. And then we have Carlos Jr., who's out here without parents right now. So, okay, so I want to clear that up. Anything that I read out of the proper, the fist bump and all of that, and what witness one said that they saw and all of this, that came from the Cook County State's Attorney. Okay, let's get into what happened today. So in court today, what transpired was, again, Holly Johnson's, Quadeja Holly Johnson's attorneys, they argued for her to, essentially, they were pressing for her to be let out. Rightfully so. They can do that. That is their legal right to do that. She is pregnant. Prior to this, she did not have a lengthy criminal history. In fact, she had one thing that was a misdemeanor, so not even worth talking about. I mean, it was nothing on her record prior to this. So from a legal standpoint, that is something that an attorney will argue. It does not matter who it is. That attorney would then argue that my client is not a flight risk. My client has never, felt the need, and she had a CCW. She was a concealed carry holder, and there is nothing that indicates that she had fired that weapon at someone or pulled out her gun to shoot and kill someone, allegedly, because we don't know everything unfolded. We're seeing the aftermath video, okay? So prior to that, based on what we know, there's nothing that showed that in her history. So an attorney is obviously going to argue, my client is pregnant, she had no prior criminal history, she should be let out, is what they're going to say. So that was what they tried to have happen in court. That did not happen. That did not happen at all in court. What ended up happening was she was not let out yet again. So this is the second time. And in fact, she will reappear in court on January 7th. Here's where it gets interesting. So our field producer who was there said that Quadasia Holly Johnson's family was let out first out of the courtroom. And that they lingered a little bit in the hallway. And then after that, Romeca's family was let out, but there was still leftover from supporters of Quadasia Holly Johnson. I don't know who exchanged words with who. I'm not here to say that because I was not there to know. And even though my field producer, our field producer of Fox 32 was there, it was not clear who started the drama first. That is unknown here. What we know is words were exchanged. Now, allegedly, people are saying that, and obviously there's two sides, right? Really three. There's people that are supporters of Romeca. She's had supporters this entire time. Since she died, people have been calling for Quadasia Holly Johnson to be charged. And then you have those of Quadasia Holly Johnson that believes that, she's innocent in this and that she did the right thing, okay? And then you have people that are just talking that know nothing about either one of them. They're just followers of the story. Well, we don't know what transpired outside of that courthouse, except for to say that some people are saying that Carlos approached the family. Okay, that's what some people are saying. Some people are, and the family being Romeca's family. Then other people are saying that it was the opposite. Okay, that it was the opposite, and that the family approached Carlos or said something to Carlos. I don't know which one is true. Okay, because we're looking, the video we have is everybody going out. You can hear stuff being said, arguing back and forth. It's both sides. And the video that we have, you hear both sides. It's no indication of who kicked it off in our video from when the argument transpired in the hallways of the Layton Criminal Courthouse. You hear both sides saying something. Now, outside, we don't know because we were not out there. T.T. Barfield, who recorded video outside, where you hear Romeca's sister basically saying, you ruined that girl's life, and you ruined that girl's life, speaking of Quadasia Holly Johnson, and, my sister, is obviously not here. That was words that she was hurling at Carlos. So again, we don't know who kicked off what outside. What I can tell you is that from the video, we see that, at least this is what I'm being told, that Carlos is then put in handcuffs, brought back in the courthouse, and then family members of Romeca, two, one which we know for sure is a family member of Romeca or related to Romeca or known of Romeca because that person has on pink, is also brought back into the courthouse and is in handcuffs with the sheriff. The other person is unknown. So we can at least say Carlos was brought back into the courthouse, and so was a member of Romeca's family, based on the fact that as a support to Romeca, the family and those who are allies of the family have been wearing pink. So that we do know. Let's get into what happens in a case like this. There's very heightened emotion. So who knows how this is going to play out. The judge has a very big job here. The judge's number one job in terms of the functionality of the courtroom, of the proceedings, is safety. That is the number one thing here. The problem is that as fights and stuff like this happens, people get in front of the courthouse. Who knows, they're going back to their cars. who knows what is happening on the outside that can impact the inside of the courtroom. What happens is the judge has a very difficult decision to make. And in past cases, I have seen where judges will then limit who can be in that courtroom. So the judge may say media and only direct family of both individuals. When I say both, the victim and also those, the defendant in this case, can be allowed in the courtroom. So there's several different things that are happening here. So yes, there was a fight on the outside and people are pointing the finger, but what happened on the outside has implications for inside the courtroom. And in fact, there's other layers of what could happen on a legal level when there's this much emotion. I've had people completely threaten me who I do not know, who are now being investigated by different agencies by making threats through social media, all because of a case. In some cases, I think they may be family members of certain people. In other cases, I think they're followers of the case. But all of that kind of stuff outside of the courtroom, especially the way it played out today, has implications inside the courtroom. And I think that's the part that people forget. When you're calling for justice, no matter who you're calling for justice for, we've seen justice for Meeks, as that being Romeca, that was her nickname. We've seen justice for people calling for justice for Courthouse. The problem is when this kind of stuff happens, justice gets kind of muddy. And what I mean by that is you may not ever, depending on who you are, you may not get to see this play out because the judge literally may limit who can be in the courtroom. The judge may literally say the proceedings, therefore, moving forward, will just be this small group of people and you can watch on Zoom. So that is the problem with this, is that, you know, I get the emotion part of it. It is a lot of reasons to be mad. There's a lot of reasons to be emotional about it, but let the justice system do their job. Quit calling out people for saying things that you don't know anything about. It's a way to handle things in a proper professional way. And so far what I'm saying is people are getting emotional about this case, rightfully so, but you're threatening people in the process. So I don't know who threatened who in this case, but what I do know is 3 people were arrested. So, and I did hear that as well, that Carlos was jumped. That is what I've heard too. So there's been different things and varying accounts of what I heard. I heard he approached the family and as a result, he got jumped. Okay. I don't know which one is true. What I will know here shortly is I am waiting on the Cook County Sheriff's Department to get back to me on their narrative of things. They will have an official narrative of what happened, and they will also be able to tell me if indeed all 3 individuals that we see in that video, if they were charged as a result of the fight outside of the courtroom or courthouse. And technically, the way that they brought them back in was interesting to me. Normally, if you fight inside of a courthouse, you are then, you know, arrested and charged and all of that. They were fighting outside. So it's going to be really interesting to see how, if they're charged, why they're charged, what the situation is. So that's whose narrative I'm going to use in this case, because here's the problem. So many different people in this whole totality of a bigger picture of things are very upset. They're exactly right, Victoria. They're Facebook lawyers and they're Facebook prosecutors. And different people are trying to get their narrative out, which may not be the truth. And in some cases is not the truth at all. And so I'm going to rely in this case. And listen, it's a hard line to tote when you're a journalist, because you've also seen in the past, not saying this is related to Cook County Sheriff's Department, but you've also seen in the past where law enforcement, especially if it involves, you know, a police involved shooting, they're not always telling the truth. So it's a hard line to tote when trying to, you know, go through the weeds and figure out what the truth is. So in this case, I am going to see what the Cook County Sheriff's Department gives back, and that is the guidance in which I will follow, because there are so many different layers of this onion and people trying to get their side out. And it's true, it's hard to trust the system, and oftentimes we don't trust the system, and we have good reason a lot of times not to trust the system. But as of right now, that will be the guidance I follow, unless I was to get somebody who was a man on the street, who don't know nobody involved, who could tell me what happened, because you've seen where this side wants this narrative out, that side wants that narrative out. The bottom line is, to get into the weeds of violence and fighting and all of that stuff, the justice system will take care of it some way, somehow. So that's what I will say. That's all that I can say about that. That's not my position to say. I don't know. I've had a loved one murdered. That person did go to prison for the rest of their natural life. I was young when it happened to me. I could understand, and I was emotional then. I was much younger. I can understand the emotion, and I get it. I'm not saying don't be emotional. You have every right to be emotional. There are so many lives that have been uprooted from this. But in order for justice to truly be served, and for you to have a front seat to whatever justice looks like for you, Quadacia's family, Romeca's family, you have to give it time to play out. And now the next hearing could be, the judge could easily say, you know what? We will only have immediate family here. This person, this person, this person, this media, this media. So it's hard. And yes, you're absolutely right, Romeca Price, that it is easier for people to say when they're not the family. It's so easy, right? It's so easy to say what you woulda, coulda, should have done. And I agree with you. You're absolutely right. But I'm just saying, moving forward, hopefully there will be more security present, and that won't have to be the case, that moving forward, only a handful of people are allowed in a courtroom, because it has happened. That's all that I'm saying. But you're right. Everybody has a reason to feel how they feel. Lives have been uprooted. Children don't have parents. And it's a sucky situation all the way around. It's horrible all the way around. It absolutely is. So, Romeca, I hope I got your name right. You've said one of the things that I agree the most with on this live. Easy to say when it's not your family member, and you're 100% right. It really is. Everybody could say what they think when it's not their family. So yeah, I will have a report on this on the news at 4 and 5. Again, waiting on the Cook County Sheriff's Department to at least give us the narrative that they come up with after talking to all three individuals, if indeed they're going to be charged. If they're not going to be charged, we may never know what really played out, because then they won't have a reason to fully question them and get this person's side, that person's side. And I was trying to see in the video hold on, let me go back to this. I was trying to see if in that video they were wearing body cameras. Anybody? Because that's also relevant too. Yeah, there's a lot of body cameras going around. So based off the body camera video, and since they were already outside, they should be able to give us a narrative of what unfolded, because they had on body cameras and they were already outside before the fight jumped off. Yeah, I'm trying to see, is everybody on? Hold on. Yeah, 1, 2. I see most people I can identify. This video is moving so fast, but I would say most of these members of the Cook County Sheriff's Police have on body cams, so they would be able to hopefully give us a narrative of what happened. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Any new details, you can catch it here on my page a little later. Again, I agree with Romeca. This is, it's easy to say when it's not your family. And I think part of the problem is a lot of this is being fueled by secret Facebook groups that are hidden to the public, but only have allowed a few members in. They're fueling anger, hate, and some of it is a little misplaced. Like, you're mad, in some cases, at the wrong people. Like, some of what I've seen about certain people in this is like, they didn't have anything to do with the charges. It's nothing they can do to bring charges. It's nothing I can do to bring charges. I'm not a Cook County prosecutor. I can't bring charges. And in fact, most people don't understand how it works. Police are the ones that present the charges to a Cook County prosecutor. In this case, and then they, depending on the kinds of cases, they can present it to a grand jury for indictment. There's so many different factors, and so a lot of the anger that I've seen online about, Quadesia being in jail and all of this is misplaced. I mean, Tina has nothing to do, and Tina McMiller being Romeca's family has nothing to do with those charges. It's nothing she can do. She was not there. She was not a witness. She did not speak about being there because she couldn't, because she wasn't there. She has nothing to do with those charges. In my case, I wasn't there. I can't do anything about charges. I was not witness 1, witness 2, witness 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a whole lot of anger, and I'm going to get that B kind of behavior online. And you guys are misplacing that anger at the wrong people. So I hope you figure that out. I know it's tough. It's tough losing somebody. It's tough losing somebody under these circumstances on both sides. I have been, in some ways, a crime victim, so I understand it. Again, I was younger, so maybe not fully understood. But again, it's easier to say when it's not your family. So I think one thing we have to do is just take a step back. I'm just here to report the facts on what we've learned today. And as soon as I learn more, I keep checking my email to see if there's been any updates that I can give you before I get off of here.
Thank you for watching. And may Romeca Meeks-Blackmon's family one day find the peace and closure they deserve. That's a wrap on today's case. But the story doesn't stop here. There are countless voices still unheard, stories still in the shadows, and truths still waiting to be uncovered. Here at True Crime Diaries, we will continue to follow this case closely, honoring Romeca's life with facts, compassion, and respect. Hit subscribe, like this video, turn on notifications so you're always first to know when a new case drops. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.